class. Today we're going to be going over the lecture for chapter number 9, Impact of Fluids and Beverages on Nutritional Health. This is the last chapter that will be on exam 3, which as a reminder will be on Friday, November 15th. We will do a review for this exam on Tuesday, November 12th. So in today's lecture, we're going to describe the functions of water in the body, identify strategies for selecting juices with maximum nutritional benefits, talk about nutritional benefits of milk, identify benefits and risks of drinking caffeinated beverages, list health concerns associated with functional beverages, and identify factors that influence absorption and metabolism of alcohol and the effects of fetal exposure to alcohol. I want you to take a moment and just reflect on what is your favorite beverage or your beverage of choice. And then what do you think the phrase drink your calories means? So now let's talk about what are the different beverage groups. 100% juice includes all fruit and vegetable juices that are 100% juice with no added sugar. Alcoholic beverages include wine, beer, liquor, and mixed drinks. Coffee includes coffee and coffee-based drinks like lattes and mochas, cappuccinos. Diet, soft, and other drinks include low-calorie versions of soft drinks, fruit drinks like fruit-flavored or less than 100% juice, sports drinks, energy drinks, and carbonated beverages. Milk and milk drinks include plain milk, skim milk, 1%, 2% whole, and milk-based drinks like chocolate milk, milkshakes, or hot cocoa. Plain water includes tap and non-carbonated bottled water. Regular soft drinks and other drinks include versions of soft drinks like soda or pop, fruit drinks, fruit-flavored or less than 100% juice, sports drinks, and energy drinks. And tea includes tea and tea-based drinks, ready-to-drink tea made from pre-sweetened mix. So if it is 100% juice, then it's in the category of 100% juice. But if it is less than 100% juice, it'll either fall under the diet soft or other drink category or the regular soft or other drink category, depending on how it's sweetened with natural or artificial sugars. So we talked a little bit about water on Tuesday, and we know that water is crucial for our health. It's the nutrient that we need most. Our bodies make up 60% of water, so we definitely need to think about how much water we consume. Adults consume and excrete about 1.5 to 3 quarts of water per day. Most of our water comes from beverages. However, food provides some water as well. In particular, fruit and vegetables are about 85 to 95% water, so they do contribute to your water intake. Other foods too, like soup, all foods have some degree of water in them, except for fats, like oils. But the foods that contribute most to our fluid would be fruits and vegetables and things like soup. Adults are advised to consume 1 to 1.5 milliliters of water from all sources for each calorie expended. So that's about 2 quarts a day of fluid. 2 quarts is roughly 8 cups of water. There's about 4 cups in a quart. So sources of waters can vary. We talked a little bit about hard water on Tuesday. Hard water, it has high levels of calcium and magnesium. It can come from shallow ground, and it's better for drinking and cooking. It's not, unfortunately, great for things like washing clothes and bathing. It tends to leave like a little bit of a film behind. Hard water, though, if you remember from the lecture on Tuesday, is actually protective against heart disease because calcium and magnesium are. Soft water, on the other hand, is from further deeper into the earth, and it contains a higher concentration of sodium. We know sodium can be harmful to health if consumed in excess quantities, so it's good to know if you have hard or soft water. The Environmental Protection Agency, or the EPA, is the government organization that is responsible for ensuring that our tap water is safe to drink. And it monitors the municipal water. So if you get water from the town, then the EPA is monitoring that water. If you get water from a well, you are, expected to monitor that water yourself. The EPA is not really monitoring that water. The EPA sets limits for certain contaminants that are found in water, like mercury, nitrate, silver, and lead. And it also mandates that tap water be disinfected if bacteria levels run high. The way that tap water will be disinfected is with chlorine to kill pathogens. I don't know if you ever notice this, but sometimes I can just smell the chlorine in my drinking water, in my tap water. It's very, very apparent to me that there's chlorine in that water. It doesn't smell quite like a pool, but you just get a little bit of that chlorine smell. Cryptosporidium is a parasite found in water when water comes into contact with sewage or animal waste. And unfortunately, this parasite is resistant to chlorine or other disinfectants, so you can get really sick from this. It'll cause flu-like symptoms and diarrhea for about 7 to 10 days. It's important to know that your water is safe and clean for consumption. Many people choose to drink bottled water because they believe that it has health benefits. 25% of bottled water drinkers buy bottled water for health and safety concerns. About 25% believe bottled water is pure and free from contaminants. But that's not necessarily true. Typically, bottled water is only filtered to remove chemicals such as chlorine, but it doesn't necessarily make the water safer. The FDA also does not require bottled water to meet the higher standards of quality, and most of them don't contain fluoride, which is in most of our drinking water, which is, as we remember from our minerals chapter, a important mineral for our bones and our teeth. Fluoride also helps to fight cavities. And it gets confusing when there is a term on this bottled water that says something like pure, crystal pure, premium. It really doesn't mean much of anything. It just means that the water's been filtered from chlorine. So juice is another beverage that sometimes maybe you don't know what kind is the best kind of juice to choose, because not all juices are the same. There are juice drinks, flavored juice drinks, juice blends, and these really don't contain real juice. Most of them have a ton of added sugar. 100% fruit or vegetable juice, this is going to be your best choice for choosing juice. It does lack fiber, which is found in fruits and vegetables. I don't know if you remember the juice craze that really hit maybe 10 years ago at this point, where everyone was buying a juicer and just juicing things. I mean, the main problem with juicing is you're not getting any fiber. It's better to just eat whole foods, whole fruits and vegetables, and then you reap the benefits of the fiber. Smoothies, you get the fiber, because usually when you make smoothies, you put the whole fruit right in the blender and blend it up. But when you're juicing, you're extracting the juice and you're not getting any of that fiber. And 100% fruit juices can still have some added sugar from concentrated white grape juice. If you read the ingredients on most 100% juices, they tend to have white grape juice, and that is contributing to the sugar. Some things to keep in mind, though, with juice is a darker color or more colorful juice tends to be the most nutritious because it has a lot of phytochemicals. Think about if you've ever seen grape juice, especially like pure grape juice, it's going to be that deep, deep, dark purple, and that's has a lot of great phytochemicals in it. Orange juice in plastic containers lose less vitamin C than those in juice containers. So the opposite of milk. So milk, you want to purchase milk that is in a darker container to preserve riboflavin. Remember, one of our B vitamins. Orange juice, on the other hand, the clear containers are actually better because you lose less vitamin C. Another trick with juice is always cutting it with water or seltzer so that you're not getting as much sugar. That's what I do for my kids. So humans are the only animal that consumes milk past infancy. Milk is the white opaque liquid produced by the mammary glands in animals. It also applies to non-animal beverages like soy milk and almond milk. So now we have a lot of plant-based milks out on the market. The composition of milk varies by the type of mammal. But in general, cow's milk, which is what we're talking about most of the time when we're talking about milk, is a nutrient dense food. It has protein, calcium, phosphorus, riboflavin, vitamin A, vitamin D, potassium, magnesium, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and zinc. Some of you may remember like the milk campaigns that used to be out where they would say like milk does the body good, milk for strong bones, things like that. That's because a lot of these nutrients are specific to our bones. So if you remember from the vitamins and minerals lecture, vitamin D and vitamin K, which is not on here, are important for bone health. And in our minerals, calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium are all important for our bone health. Total per capita milk consumption has declined, but especially for adolescents. So people are not drinking as much milk as they used to. I remember in the beginning of the semester, I think it was, Mia asked, how do you feel about caffeine, about coffee? And I said, I feel very good about it. Well, here is some information about coffee and caffeine. So, caffeine is a chemical compound containing carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. In the United States, most people drink their caffeine as coffee, but you can also see that Americans drink some tea, soft drinks, and energy drinks. But the most often way people are getting their caffeine is in coffee. Caffeine is the most widely used behaviorally active drug in the world. It is. It's a drug. It can have dependence. So, what does caffeine dependence syndrome looks like? It looks like at least 3 or 4 of the following criteria. Withdrawal syndrome. Typically, you'll have a headache and some fatigue if you don't have coffee. It is consuming caffeine even despite the knowledge that it could be causing harm. This is once you get to a high level of caffeine. We'll talk about that in a minute. Repeated and unsuccessful attempts to cut back on caffeine. So if you can't stop drinking coffee or tea or energy drinks, then it might mean that you have caffeine dependence. And also your tolerance to caffeine. The more you drink, the more your tolerance increases and you can have more and more and more. There's some conflicting evidence about whether caffeine is related to any health problems. Most studies only look at coffee and tea specifically, but it is one place that we do recommend limiting caffeine is with pregnancy. You want to limit to about 300 milligrams per day because we do know that caffeine does cross the placenta and the baby can be affected by the caffeine. So, coffee in particular does show actually a reduced risk of some diseases associated with coffee consumption. Type 2 diabetes, stroke, depression, degenerative diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Particularly, antioxidants that are found in coffee can inhibit inflammation, which reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease. But moderate consumption is advised, only about 2 to 3 cups per day is where you're going to see the benefits. Anything more than 3 cups a day, you are now starting to dehydrate yourself and you're at the risk of that caffeine dependence. Type of tea is determined by the processing method. Green teas are leaves that are steamed at a high temperature, followed by drying and rolling. Black tea is fermented, and oolong tea is produced by solar withering, followed by partial fermentation. But tea is also rich in phytochemicals and antioxidants and caffeine, so it can also have some health benefits, which we could talk about that. So health benefits of tea, they can lower the risk of cardiovascular disease by reducing inflammation, decreasing the total and LDL cholesterol. Remember, that's our bad cholesterol, protecting against blood clot formation, and decreasing blood pressure. Tea can also decrease risks of cancers by inhibiting carcinogenesis, suppressing carcinogenic substances, and increasing the effect of some chemotherapeutic agents. Remember, we're talking about antioxidants could